Awesome. We're being recorded. Great. Let's record it. I was the head of the English and International Department for Chicago Hope Academy, and I also worked for admissions at Harvard University. And before that, in China, where I met Isaac, I was the academic principal for the high school we worked at. And then I also founded my own company called Moonshot Education. So that's a little bit about my background. But the truth is, my career has meandered all over the place. I have worked outside of my country. I've worked in 3 different countries, and I still feel like those soft skills are extremely universal. So I'm going to give the same talk that I gave actually a month ago to Harvard University. So this is the same presentation I gave to the graduates of Harvard University for the Graduate School of Education and the undergraduates. Literally was just giving the same talk 1 month ago. So what I'm going to talk about quickly are badges, hustle, passion, networking, what I call the, if you know, forgive my French, the art of bullshitting, adaptability, and personal development. So let's talk about badges real quick. So I don't know how familiar, all of the students, I don't want to date myself as how old I am, but when I was a kid, I used to play Pokemon on my Game Boy, and the goal was to collect as many badges as you can to climb the steps and to advance in the game. And the reason why I say badges is everything in life requires a badge. And that philosophy came from my friend, and is a professor for the University of Edinburgh in Ireland, in Scotland, sorry. And he used to say that life always requires badges. You know, it's always about collecting badges. So graduating from college as an undergraduate, that's a badge. Graduating from college as a graduate student, that's a badge. Getting your doctorate degree, getting a promotion, going to a new job, volunteering, these are all badges, you know, certificates. So I do want to say that, you know, to be successful in your career in the 21st century, we all know that you have to collect these badges, right? And I can tell you that, you know, my successful professors at Harvard University, they were very good at collecting the badges. They never stopped, you know, working on their career and collecting those badges. Even if they're kind of just for show, it's important that you know, you're still collecting those badges because it's such a competitive environment. You still need to show that you are qualified. You have the certificates to go with experience. So next thing that I want to say is about the work ethic. And this will sound very cliche, but the truth is, in my experience and from everything that I've seen, is the people that work the hardest, those are the people that tend to get the promotions or tend to climb. Those are the people working on the weekends or working past, you know, their work hours. Those are the people that are successful and more successful than their peers. And there was a study done not too long ago comparing graduates from one of the local schools in California that wasn't highly ranked or highly regarded to graduates from Harvard University. And they actually found that the students from the local state school were more successful in a lot of different jobs than the graduates from Harvard University. So you can imagine, why would that happen? Why would that be the case? And what they found is the students that graduated from the lower ranked schools, they were willing to work harder. They didn't have this entitlement or this privilege bestowed upon them. They wanted to work hard for their paycheck. They wanted to work hard for their promotion. And again, I love Harvard University. I graduated from Harvard University, but there's this air of confidence that comes from graduating from such an esteemed university. And so it's really about that balance, right? Like you guys graduating or attending, your respected university, it's about coupling the skills that you have with that work ethic. And nothing replaces strategic hard work. It's not about just working harder, it's about working smarter and working harder. So that can sound super cliche, but that is something that'll never go old in style. Last thing I want to, well, not last thing, next thing I want to talk about is passion and enjoying or finding purpose in the work that you do. Another very cliche message, but there's been a lot of research that has shown that the more passionate or the more purposeful your work is, the more you're willing to put into it, the harder you're willing to work for it. The more you're willing to wake up in the morning and say, okay, this is what I want to do. And I don't necessarily mean passionate about what you do. It's more belief in what you do, belief that this is something that you want to do. This is something that'll make a difference. This is a stepping stone to something that you want to do. And so Dr. Ken Robinson is a professor and an author that I have a great deal of respect for. He's famous for his TED Talk and his books talking about education and creativity in the 21st century. And so he is a strong advocate for creativity and for workers finding what their calling is and their passion. And he called it the flow channel. And that's probably something that you might have heard before. But if you've ever felt that feeling when you're doing something that you actually really love to do, or you believe you were meant to do that, it's almost this out of body experience where it just comes naturally, or you feel like you're in the zone. That is what he called the flow channel. And so that is very important. People in that flow channel tend to outperform their competition. So if you're looking to climb in your career, you want to hit that sweet spot, that flow channel. Next thing I'll say, and I know that this is important in India, and this is something that Isaac and I have bonded with as well, is we've both been connected to Rotary. I have been part of Rotary now for about 5 years. I used to be the secretary and on the board of Rotary in China and Chengdu. And Rotary has opened up a lot of doors for me, but what I really want to talk about is networking, the value of networking. It is so important nowadays with social media and with everything, really just the value of networking. And I will say that half of the money I feel like I paid for tuition to Harvard University, half of that value I have found in my networking, whether it's my friends in China, in India, in Korea, in America. There have been so many doors that have opened up for me because of networking. So I would encourage everyone to really throw yourself out there, constantly be networking, hustle to network. I'm actually supposed to, I was going to be heading to India this fall for the first time for a wedding that I was invited to in Western India. And I would love to attend. We'll see how that works. But that was all from a connection from Harvard University. And there's so many job opportunities that have come from either connecting with Rotary or connecting through my university. So I'd really, advise everyone to take advantage of any networking opportunities that they can find. And something that Isaac is probably very familiar with, in China, they have a word for it, and it's called guanxi. And guanxi essentially means it's like a currency. It's if you do something for me, I have to do something for you. So I love this idea and this philosophy, and it's not like a debt or something like that. It's not like you have to do this as a burden. It's more like if I pat your back, you know, you pat my back, and everyone's happy, right? Everyone feels like they're taken care of. And so the more guanxi you collect in China, the more powerful of a network you have. And America has a similar setup. I hope everyone can still hear me. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So let's see, should I keep going? Okay, I think I'll keep talking. So networking, very, very important to network. Next thing that I'll say is adaptability, right? COVID-19 threw everyone for a loop. It's still throwing everyone for a loop. It's changed the world, and it's changed all of our careers. And the ability to be adaptable is something that is never going to go out of style, right? Like, I thought that I was going to be a teacher for the rest of my life. And then I had a friend and network convince me to start a company, and then convinced me to be the principal of a school. Now I'm in education business. It's that constant ability to adapt and to be a survivor. You know, if you have that mindset that no matter what happens to you in life, you're going to find a way out of it, and you're going to find a way to be successful. That's really, you know, one of the key ingredients that you find with most all of our successful people and pillars and icons across the world. And what I will say is, you know, so I graduated 2 years ago from Harvard University. And when I graduated, COVID-19 was just starting to hit, and it was something that you know, was obviously changing plans for everybody. And so many of my classmates struggled to find the next step because of their career. And I saw this more as an opportunity to hustle, right? Like, I applied for 60 jobs after college, doing whatever it would take to support my family. I have a son that's a year and a half, but that hustle, meaning that adaptability, and you know, you don't want to compromise too much of who you are and what you want, but being adaptable is something that's just never going to go out of style. Another thing that I'll say is professional development is something that's so important. It's something that most all successful careers are connected to, and it's connected to that first message I was saying with badges. Is you always want to be working on your craft. You always want to be working on your skills, whether that's hard skills or soft skills, whether it's public speaking, or it's coding, or it's being well versed in a new program. My wife is working on Python, and she's getting her master's in data science, right? It's this one of these things that's constantly, you know, working on your craft, never being satisfied, because the truth is, careers change, technology changes. You want to be ahead of the game, you don't want to be behind the game. The other thing that I'll say is confidence. How important confidence is, even if it's artificial confidence. And we have this saying that I'm sure, I'm wondering if India has a version of this too, but we have a saying where you fake it until you make it, right? There's nothing that reads power or capability more than someone that's confident in themselves. And there's a line between being arrogant, obviously, but a humble confidence is something that every worker, or every company wants in their workers. So it's one of those things, whether it's interviews, which if you're graduating soon, you know, interviews are such a intricate part of the process. Interviewing, you know, with various people, having team interviews, one-on-one. My last job, I had to interview with 4 people and pass a test. And really, if you make it out of that process, if you're a good interviewer, if you have the confidence, your career is going to be so much better off than it would have been without those skills. So confidence is just one of those things that also is never going to go old, never going to get out of style. I also want to talk about competence. And this is one of those things that's interesting. I have found in my career, there were times when I didn't think I had the skills needed to do a good job. And then there are other times where I felt like I actually did have those skills. So there are times in your career to be learning and developing those skills and to be pushing yourself. And then there's also times to be patient. And we'll talk about that in a second. But I want to talk about this Dunning-Kruger effect. And I don't know if anyone has seen this, but I think it describes a recent college graduate very well, where when you start out in a job, they have, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Then when you get things started, your confidence is growing. You feel like you know everything. And then there's a new layer that you didn't think that you needed, and then now you find you do, or you're rising in your career and you're thinking there's more to this than I thought. And then it starts, and then you think you're never going to figure this out, and it starts to make sense, and then you feel like you can do it, that your confidence is building, but the knowledge is also building as well. So I think that chart describes everyone's career. And so I think that's important as a young person starting out in a career, just knowing that it's okay to not know everything. That's very normal. It's just all about working hard and one step at a time. And then, like I was saying, it is absolutely fine to climb the mountain and times to push yourself. And then there's times to be patient, time to wait for your opportunity, waiting to go back to school for a graduate degree, or, saving up money for the next step, the next opportunity. Sometimes the grass is not always greener for the next job, but sometimes it is. My career, I've been blessed by being able to jump around, but sometimes it's hurt me to jump around. So knowing the seasons of opportunity, knowing the moments to grow and to learn. And so with that, I will conclude my little talk on soft skills. What I will say is, I don't know if this is the moment for this, but I am open for questions. I don't know if this is the type of event for questions, but if anyone wants to add my LinkedIn, I'd be happy to add them on LinkedIn. And with that, I will stop sharing my screen. And I just want to thank everybody for inviting me. And I hope that you can coalesce soft skills and hard skills as you endeavor and start launching your careers.
We will always have STEM with us. Some things will drop out of the public eye and go away, but there will always be science, engineering, and technology, and there will always be mathematics. We move on to our next resource person, Dr. Isaac Devakumar sir, to share your valuable thoughts.
So thank you very much for the opportunity, madam. Very good morning to everyone. Let me open my. This is my honor to be one of the part of this webinar. Thankful for the college, Nandha Arts and Science College, for providing me this wonderful opportunity to speak on this topic. And I especially thank for our special chief guest, Dr. Jordan Wolf, who is all the way joining us from United States, even though it's a late night here. I think it's around 12 o'clock in the midnight. He was able to participate and uh, delivered an excellent speech on this employability skills, 21st century skills on employability. So I personally thank Dr. Jordan Woff for that wonderful and excellent speech and for the wonderful guidance to our students of Nandha Arts and Science College. And also I would like to thank the organizers of this program, Dr. Abdul sir and Dr. Pungwade madam and Mr. Saravanan sir and the principal madam and chairman and every management members for this wonderful arrangement to provide the excellent opportunity for the students to learn about the employability skills and 21st century skills that are needed to success and to be a successful person in this 21st century. So I take this opportunity to talk a little bit about this 21st century skills. So as the topic goes, the 21st century skills for the employability. Most of the students are not aware of this phrase. What is 21st century skills? Many of them might not be knowing about this skill. So let me start it from the beginning. Just forgive me, it's going to be like just a classroom. As I am the teacher, high school teacher, I'm going to teach just like the classroom. So I have the PPT as well to share my PPTs and videos as well. So just bear with me. It's going to be like just like a classroom. Okay, just let me start it from the beginning. So what is the purpose of our education the students do? We all go to the primary school and then we go to the high school and then higher secondary school. Then we go to the college and doing undergraduate, postgraduate research and so on and so forth. We are doing a lot of degrees and gaining a lot of education. So what is our ultimate goal? What is the ambition? What is the destiny that we're going to reach out? Why we are studying? Okay, so the ultimate goal is to get the job, to get the employment, isn't it? Okay, now after we graduated from the college, there are two kinds of categories we can divide the students. So one part of the students, they can get the job, very good job, or the moderate job, or no jobs. Okay, so there are three categories. So some of the students, those who have the very good grades and those who get the very good skills, they go to the good job. Some of the students, lack of some skills and lack of some grades, they go to the moderate jobs. And the rest of the students, they don't have the job at all. So what is the lacking behind that? What is the main reason for this kind of problem? So this is what my topic is going to be. So I'm going to talk about all of these things, 21st century skills. So what is 21st century skills? That is the skills needed by the students to be succeeded in the 21st century. When we were the small little kids, our parents and teachers used to say, you need to be disciplined student. You have to obey to your parents. You have to be obedient to the parents. So in this 21st century, do you think the discipline and attitude is alone enough to get the employability? No, you need to go one step further. You need to have 21st century skills that will be needed for your employability. So that is the skills that are lacking of the students. There is one university research says that out of 100% interviews, only 10% of the students are eligible to take the job. The rest of the 90% of the students are needed for the training. If they are from the college, they need training for 6 months or 1 year after the graduation in order to develop their skills, and then only they are getting eligible to get into the job. So here, you need to be grateful to our Nandha Arts and Science College for this wonderful, excellent opportunity that the college has arranged to teach you, train you on these soft skills and employability skills and 21st century skills. I hope this webinar will be very, very useful for you to develop your skills and apply them to succeed in your life. In this webinar, I'm going to teach you all about the 21st century skills. So on a whole, there are only 12 21st century skills are there. So I'm going to categorize them each and I'm going to talk each and everything about that right now. Okay. Before I go to the categories of the 21st century skills, let me talk about the importance of the skills. Otherwise, we call as a competence, as Dr. Jordan taught us a lot about the competence. Okay, he taught about the badges, the hustle, passion, networking, adaptability, and a lot of things he spoke. That was the basic foundation that you need to follow in your life in order to get the good employability. So my topic is just a little bit in depth with these 21st century skills. For example, let me share you one of the experience that I have. I think 6 years ago when I was in India, actually I came to China in the year 2015. And actually my native is from Erode. I belong to Erode. I'm not a foreigner. I belong to Erode, and I studied in Erode schools and colleges, and I did my doctorate, PhD in the United States. I've got 11 degrees, and I've been a correspondent of IDK educational institutions. And through this institution, I have been offering the diploma in medical lab technology courses to our Nandha Arts and Science College for more than 8 years. And also many colleges I've been tie up throughout Tamil Nadu and also in other states of our country, India. So that's my pleasure to offer this degree to our Nandha Arts and Science College. Let me share you one of the examples that I would like to share with you. Long years ago, 6 years ago, when I was in India, one of my friends, he went to Singapore. Actually, while he was in India, he learned swimming. He could swim very easily, and he could swim in the river, he could swim in the well. He's expert, I can say. And what happens later, he went to Singapore, and he was there for many years. And once I had a chance to meet him when he returned back to India, and we had a very good conversation, and we had a dinner at a hotel. At that time, I was asking that are you able to swim right now? And then he took me to the river, Kaveri River, just nearby our home, Pallipalayam Kaveri River. So we went to the Kaveri River, and I asked him to swim because I knew he was an expert in swimming. But for many years, he couldn't practice swimming in Singapore because he was engaged in the ship work. Okay, so he was really tight schedule, like having tight schedule, and so he was not able to practice his swimming. So at first, when I requested him to swim in the river, he was a little bit scared. But later, I asked him to swim. Then he dived into the river. First, he was scared. And the moment he dived into the river, he just pushed his arms back and forward. He started swimming. I was really wondering. And when he came out of the river, I asked him, how could you swim? He told me, this is my skill that I learned several years ago. It has embedded into my body, into my blood, within my tissue, so it won't be erased. So my dear students, this is the beauty. This is the importance of the skill. The skills are different from the education. Okay, so what you are learning, just like education, the education that you are learning, the skills that you are learning cannot be stolen, cannot be hidden, or cannot be destroyed. That's why in English we call it the tacit. Okay, these are called tacit knowledge. It has embedded in our blood. Can you forget the typewriting? When I came to China for the first time, I learned typewriting when I was studying in +2, 12th grade. But for a long time, more than 10 years, I didn't have any touch with the typewriting. But when I attended for the interview in China for the teaching position, they asked me to type something. You know, first I struggled, but when I touched the keyboard of the typewriting machine or the computer, then automatically it flowed down. So that is the beauty of the skill. So the skills, once we learned, it will stay forever and ever. That's why we need to learn the skills. Okay. So now, also in Tamil, in Avayar, Padalgal, in Avayar poem, there is a beautiful poem. It is actually related to Kalvi, education, but also it related to skills also. Let me tell that poem written by Avayar. வெள்ளத்தால் போகாது வெந்தனலால் வேகாது வேந்தராலும் கொள்ளத்தான் முடியாது கள்ளர்க்கோ மிக மிக அரிது கல்வி. Actually, what does it mean? The skills, what we learn, it cannot be destroyed. It cannot be stolen. In 2005, there was a tsunami. There was a lot of destruction. There were a lot of things have been destroyed. So the people who knows driving, can it be stolen? Was it destroyed? Who knows cooking? Was it destroyed? Nothing. It stays in their body. It is a tacit knowledge. We call it a tacit knowledge. It stays forever and ever. That's why in the 21st century, the students, not only the college students, even the school students needed these skills. They need to develop this 21st century skills in order to get the employment. Okay, now I'm going to share with you a PPT that will explain everything about the 21st century skills. Okay, right. So talking about the 21st century skills, as I told you earlier, there are 12 21st century skills. So I'm going to divide these 12 21st century skills into 3 categories. Okay, the first category is learning skills, and second category is literacy skills, and third category is life skills. So under the learning skills, there are 4 important skills we call as learning skills. Under the learning skills, the first skill is called critical thinking skill. Let me explain you one by one. What do you mean by critical thinking skill? I think critical thinking is a very strange word. Some of you might have known about this word. Critical thinking is nothing but asking questions or making decisions, the right decisions in the critical situation. That's called critical thinking. This is the lacking of most of the students who are studying in the colleges or schools. They don't develop these skills. They don't ask questions. Whatever the teacher says, they say yes, 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 yes. Okay, so that's the difference between the international, the foreign countries and our country. Our students, mostly they don't open their mouth, but whereas in foreign countries like America, in China, or some other countries, the students, they used to interact with teachers very frequently. If they don't understand, or if they want to share any ideas, immediately what they do, they speak with the teachers. They interact with the teachers. They ask questions. So that is the positive thing that makes them to analyze the problem and make a good and effective solution. So this critical thinking skill is very useful to analyze a problem very carefully and apply the logic and take a very best solution out of this. So that is the use of this critical thinking skill. So now the next point is how to develop this critical thinking skill. Because as I teach you each and every skills, I'm going to tell you how to develop these skills also. And it is very important for you to make it notes if you want, okay? So how to develop this critical skill? That's very easy. You don't need to take much time, hours and hours to practice this. Okay, just develop the habit of asking questions. You can read the newspaper or you can watch the TV news and ask questions. Why this happened? What is the solution for this scenario? You can even play chess. You know, the chess is a very good mind engagement. You can solve the Rubik cubes. Okay, so these are the activities that will engage your mind and it will promote your critical thinking skills. So the critical thinking is a very, very important thing. And this will help you when you get into the job, when you go to the work environment, all the people, they want this skill from you, critical thinking skill. Not just saying yes or no answer. In order to, you have to give the explanation, analyzing, and making a good decision. That is called critical thinking. So as you are the college students, as you are going to get employment after your graduation, you need to be very strong in this critical thinking. The next one is called creativity. So the creativity is also one of the important skills that you need to develop. What is creativity? Have you watched the film Bahubali? Yes, I hope everyone have done. Okay, Bahubali. You see how many creativity has been implemented in that Bahubali film. You know, that is the creativity. So the creativity is the knowledge and understanding that you are using in order to solve a problem in a new way of thinking. That is called creativity. So just like why we call Ilayaraja as a Isai Devan, okay? Why do we call him? There are only 7 notes in music, okay? But how many thousands of music he is producing out of these 7 notes? That is the creativity. Let me share you one of the wonderful story that I watched on the WhatsApp. I think probably most of you have watched in this WhatsApp. This is the forward video message. I used to receive those kind of messages. I would like to share with you. Recently, I watched that WhatsApp message that I wanted to share with you. So I would like to share with you that WhatsApp video message. Actually, that video says that there is a beggar man, very old poor man. He was blind. He was sitting on the street and he is begging and he was waiting for the people to offer him money. So what he has done, he has taken a small piece of paper or a board, cardboard, and he has written on the board, I am blind. I cannot see the world. So that is his statement. So he just placed on his right side and he is waiting for the money. So a lot of people are seeing that board and passing by, but nobody is offering any money, any penny to that old man. And the time is passing. Later, or 10 or 15 minutes, there was a lady who was passing by that street. She noticed that board and she came to that man and she took out that board and she changed some of the sentences and she kept the board back at back of him. The moment she changed the board, the sentence, after a while, lot of money are collected. Many people, they are coming and reading the statement and putting money. And it happened. And he was able to collect a lot of money. Then after an hour, the same lady came to this man. And the man was really happy. And he wanted to know what she wrote on that board. And then he asked that lady, what you wrote on the board? Then the lady said, earlier you had written that I am blind, I'm not able to see the world. Now I have changed that sentence. The world is beautiful, but I cannot see the world. This is my new sentence. This is the alteration that I have made in that. See that this is the kind of creativity. Okay. So there is a saying in English way, the success is not doing the different things. Doing the things differently is the real success. So to develop the creativity, you don't need to go far away. The creativity is inside your body, inside your brain, inside your mind. Everything is inside you. Only thing is you have to identify and bring it out. Okay, that is the creativity. You can do a lot of things. If you are good at art, go ahead and do the art. If you are good at music, go and play the music. If you know how to play the piano or music instrument, go ahead. If you are good at singing, go ahead. And these are called creativity. So when you go to any company, when you are appointed a company, the company manager or managing director, the first thing he expects from you is this creativity. What is the extraordinary thing come out of you? That is the requirement from the freshers when you are appointed in a company. So you need to develop this skill, creativity skills. The third one is collaboration. This is also very, very important skill. Collaboration. What is collaboration? This is the skill that is mostly lack of the students. Collaboration means working with others. So when you are in a group or when you are a company, you cannot make all things by yourself. You need to work with others, your peers, your colleagues, your friends. So we cannot, in these aspects, we cannot think that we are the best. Might be we are the best person, okay, but still we need to ask someone else. We need to go on to collaborate. In the foreign countries, this skill is mostly needed. Even if you attend for any interviews, company interviews, they'll conduct a second round as a GD round, group discussion round. What is the specific aim of this group discussion, GD round? They want you to collaborate with others, how you are making decisions. You'll be given a very critical problem and they'll watch you. They want to know how you're going to make a best optimal solution to that critical problem by collaboration. So the collaboration is asking others, collaborating with others, sharing your knowledge, sharing your ideas, and sharing your decisions and come out of with the best and optimal solution. That is called collaboration. And the last and final skill of under the learning skills is communication. This is the very, very important. Most of us are thinking that communication is only the speaking. No, no, no. Communication involves a lot of things. It not only speaking, it involves speaking, writing, listening, reading, everything. Just you make your test by yourself. If you are able to read, if you're able to read your passage or your story very fluently, then you are good at reading skill. If you are able to understand others' language, if you're able to translate or if you're able to understand, interpret the meaning of the very difficult vocabulary, that you are good at listening skill. If you're able to speak very fluently, you have very good speaking skill. If you're able to write very fastly and very clearly, you have a very good writing skill. So the communication is not only the speaking skills, it involves a lot of things. So in other words, we can say the communication is the transferring, okay, one message from one person to another person or one place to another place, one group to another group. So that's the communication. So in talking about the communication, I want you to develop the English language, because English language is the universal language. It doesn't mean that you have to learn only the English language. No, you can learn many languages. Okay, so the learning many languages is good for you. You can go anywhere. Okay, but as the English is spoken, as English is considered as the universal language, it is recommended to develop your English knowledge. In my experience, I have seen in India, even my students, I have taught a lot of students. Okay, I have trained them on their placement training. They have all the skills, everything. They are very talented. They're very kind. They are highly potential students. But the only thing lacking from them is the communication. Because of this communication, because of this lack of this communication skills, most of the students are missing very big opportunities. Okay, so if you apply to any companies or any concerns, the very important thing that they look from you is the communication. So please develop your communication skills. That is a very, very important skill. So these are the four important major skills coming under the learning skills. The next category of the skills, the 21st century skills, is literacy skills. Okay, right. So we to remember these four learning skills, I have made a PPT. Like these are called 4Cs. We call it as a 4Cs because all these skills start from the letter C. Okay, the critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. The next thing is, the next category of 21st century skills is literacy skills. Okay, I'm sorry. So sometimes we can also call it as IMT skills. So I stands for information, M stands for media, and T stands for technology. What do you mean by information skill? Okay, that is very, very important. So in this 21st century, our duty is to collect the information from various sources. We have a lot of sources. We call it as the information age, or we call this 21st century as the cyberspace. I think you would have heard about this word. Cyberspace is a word. It is surrounded by the internet. Everywhere it is internet. If you go back 20 years ago, there was no internet, no computer, everything was manual, but now everything is, now you see here the webinar. The webinar has connected the whole world. It has connected India, China, and United States. So in future, we're going to have a lot of seminars and webinars like this. We're going to connect some other countries as well. So now in this 21st century, the literacy skills are very, very important for the students. So under this literacy skills, the first skill is information skill. So the students have to collect the information from various sources. So for that, you have to go to the computer and you got to browse, you have to get information. Even you can use the WhatsApp or Facebook, and you can use the Twitter. You need to know how to get the information from email. So all of these things are very important. Some of the students who are studying in college, they are lack of this information skill. They don't know how to collect the information. You need to read the newspaper, especially English newspaper, Hindu and Indian Express. A lot of newspapers, even Tamil newspapers you can read and take notes and gather information, store the information. Okay, when you have a lot of information, that will be the additional point to you. You'll become more efficient. You can answer to any questions. You can update your brain. You can update yourself. So when you are questioned in the company about the present trend, current trend, you are able to answer any questions only if you have the information in your hands. So that's why the information skill is very, very important. The second skill comes under the literacy skills is media skill. This is another important skill that students have to develop. Media skill. What do you mean by media skill? In this 21st century, we have a lot of media. We have YouTube, you have internet, and you have WhatsApp, you have Facebook. There are a lot of medias. In each medias, we cannot say all the information coming out of these medias are trustworthy or the real things. So it is your duty to filter the real information out of the wrong information. There are many chronic misinformation are embedded in the medias. Recently, we happen to hear there are a lot of, we call it fiction. Fiction means this is wrong information or spread out through the WhatsApp or some other. You know, when I was in India, one of my friends, he was really fascinated about the computers. Whenever any information come through the internet or the email, he blindly believed that. So one day what happened, he received an email. It says that you have won $1 million US, okay? And you have to collect this US dollars by submitting your bank account number, your ATM card number, and everything. And also you have to pay 2 lakhs rupees in order to claim $1 million. You know what this man did? He gave all his bank account and everything. You know what happened? The next moment when he checked out his bank account, it was stolen. Okay, because he didn't know how to identify the true message from the wrong message. So this is called media skill. So this is an example. Okay, I think you would have experience in this way, many ways, I don't know. Okay, so as your students, as you are the college students, you should have this skill. You have to know how to identify the reality from the misinformations. Okay, so that we call the fiction. Okay, you should know the trustworthy messages. You have to know what are the real informations, what are the genuine information, and the source of information. Where does it come from? Okay, is it a genuine? Can we believe this or not? So that kind of attitude you should have. That is called media skill. Okay, and because of the time, I need to a little bit rush it up. Okay, finally, the last skill comes under this literacy skills is technology skill. This is also one of the most important skills. Uh, in my experience, I have seen a lot of students, if they study biotechnology, they study only the biology or something like that. If they majored in mathematics, they study only mathematics, algebra, calculus. No, 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 no. Students, you need to update your knowledge with the technology. This is 21st century. Okay, this is, we are living in the 21st century. As I told you, this is called information age. Okay, which is called the cyberspace. Everything is controlled by the computer. Okay, the computer world, simply we can call. So in this computer world, you have to have some technology. Okay, even I have noticed many of my students, those who have graduated post-graduation degree, they even don't know how to create an email address. Okay, so that is a really pitiable case. So you have to develop these skills. So how to develop this technological skill? Okay, and the most of the companies in the 21st century needed is the coding skills. Okay, now you need to develop your coding skills. For that, you can learn C++, you can learn Java, even the Python. Okay, the Python is a very, very trending language system that's going on now. In the United States, there is a wide and the very bright opportunity for you to, if you have Python. Okay, one of my students who is working in the United States, California, he's earning per hour $400. Okay, per hour. Okay, you won't believe it. So if you know the computer skills, the technological skill, that will make you go into the highest peak in your life. So even though no matter you are studying biology or chemistry or mathematics or history or geography, that doesn't matter. Okay, whatever subject you may learn, but please try to develop the technological knowledge. Okay, they are sometimes called IMT skills, I told you already. They are each concerned with a different element in the digital comprehension because of the digital world. Okay, so the technological knowledge is very, very important and vital in your lives. Let's go to the last category of this 21st century skills, which is called life skills. Okay, so this is the last category of the 21st century skills. Under this category, we have 5 important skills. The first skill is called flexibility. The second one is called leadership. Third one is initiative. The fourth one is productivity. And the last one is social skills. So these 5 skills are called life skills. Shortly, we can call it as flips. Okay, you see, all the first letters of this word refers to the first letter of these skills. Okay, F stands for flexibility, L stands for leadership, and I stands for initiative, and P stands for productivity, and the last, the social skills, that is S. Life skill is the final category, also called as flips. These skills are pertain to someone's personal life, but they also bleed into professional setting. Okay, let's go deep into each and every category of this life skills. Flexibility. What do you mean by flexibility? Okay, the flexibility is actually diverting our mind, our situation as needed. Okay, we cannot be strict. Okay, all the rules and regulations are for us. We are not for the rules and regulations. There may be some rules and regulations. Yes, we have to follow it strictly. But when you are given any problem, you have to be flexible. Okay, you have to go extra mile. You have to be flexible. You should know how to change your decisions, how to change your concerns, how to change your ideas. That is called flexibility. So every company expects this flexibility skill from each candidate. The next one is called leadership skill. I think you know the leadership skill. Okay, if you want to be a leader, you got to be a great candidate. To teach this skill, I would like to play a video by our former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. Okay, let me play this video. Please watch this video for a while.
We are truly humbled by your numerous insightful contribution to this webinar, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. It was a great pleasure to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable thoughts.
Devkumar sir, thank you sir. Thanks for giving a wonderful webinar on 21st century employability skills.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Devkumar. Okay, sir.
Devkumar.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thanks for accepting our invitation and deliver a wonderful webinar.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's a time of the need. What are the skills we need? So that you deliver deliberately with excellent examples. Thank you. Thanks for your wonderful webinar.
So I thank you very much for Nandha Arts and Science College for providing me this wonderful opportunity. And I will send you to Dr. Abdul sir some of the links that you can use for your employment. I have made some links to, so this is the online platform that you can note it down if you want. These are the websites address that you can note it down, because these are the international port through which you can apply for the international job. Suppose if you want to apply for America or China or in any other countries, these are the websites that will help. Please note it down: hiredchina.com. And this is for the teachers, actually the professors who are working in the college. In the China, there is a university called Chinese Academy of Sciences. They sponsor the program for the teachers, international teachers. So please go through this website and you can find a lot of programs for the teachers program. And finally, this is the site for the USA and China job port. You can register your resume and all the biodata. So you can go to and apply through directly. And finally, this is the job portal for international jobs. So you can, once you register your biodata and all with your resume, you'll get the notification, then directly you'll be called for interview. So it will be helpful if you can note it down this. I think the time is up. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I thank the college management for providing me this opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone.
Devkumar sir, excuse me.
Yes, please,
excuse
sir.
me, Devkumar sir. You did not tell the name of the job portal, which is for China and US.
Yes, sir.
China had mentioned, but the second one you did not mention what is the name of the portal. Yeah, the first one is Higher China. What
Sir,
about
please
one?
note it down. Yes, sir. The first one is hiredchina.com.
Hired China. Yeah, fine.
Hiredchina.com, sir. And the second is the reachthehigh.com. Actually, this website is created by me. Actually, I have created this website. Wow. Yeah, this is my own website. Okay. You can find the international jobs and You can even find the international colleges. If students want to continue their education in foreign countries, they can apply through this port. So please note it down, sir. Reachthehigh.com. This is the second website name, the reachthehigh.com.
Okay.
And the third one is, this is for the teachers, the professors and lecturers, because the Chinese Academy of Sciences, actually it is in Beijing, sir, where I'm living now, right now. The website address is cas.cn. That is the Chinese Academy of Sciences. So just go to this link, sir, and there are, you can click on to the, I think I don't have time to, I wanted to go inside the website, but you can do by yourself. You just go to the upcoming event of this site, and there are the list of programs coming in the next month or other next year. So this is the Chinese Academy of Sciences, cas.cn. This is only for the teachers sponsorship program, sir. So everything will be sponsored by Chinese government. Even they pay for your air ticket and boarding and all your food expenses, everything they take care of this. So there are a lot of programs going on in this Chinese Academy of Sciences. So please note down this and go into this and have a look on this. And the next site is cn.recruit.net. This is also one of the Chinese job portals, sir. So all you need to do is you got to register. And once you register your information in this site, you will be getting the notifications very frequently. And if you upload your resume, and then they will find you the right job and they will give you the intimation so that you can apply for the appear for the interview. So this is the next website, sir. Finally, this is for the international job. This is common to all the countries. International Job Master. This is ijobmaster.com. This is the website address, sir. Yeah, I will. If you want, I'll send you this PPT to Dr. Abdul sir's WhatsApp. You can share with the students, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your information. Participants, do you have any query? Means you can ask.
So is the question answer time, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So students are welcome to ask any questions if you want regarding the international jobs or the skill development. I'll be glad to answer your questions.
So if you want to, if the student wants to get, if a student wants to do his higher studies in China, so what are the
Yes,
prerequisites he has to fulfill? If a student wants to continue his higher studies in China, what are the prerequisites he has to fulfill?
Okay, that's wonderful, sir. Okay, basically, sir, to get into the China, there are some basic requirements. The first thing is, there is depending upon your study which you are going to take, whether you are going to take the undergraduate program or postgraduate or the research program like that. So regarding to Chinese employment, first you need to have the basic qualifications. Just like if you want to go to just like our country, if you want to go to bachelor's degree, you need to have the +2. And if you want to go to get into the post graduation, you have to have the undergraduate degree and research, and you have to get the post graduation. But Some universities in China, they expect you to learn Chinese language when you come into the China, but it's not pre-requirement before you are applying. After you are getting a placement or you get the seat in the college, then you'll be taught Chinese language as one of the subjects. Then that will be taught by the, maybe I think it will come in the first year of the course. And then that's all. And most of the universities, they have the scholarship program, especially for the Indian students. They have the very good scholarship program. They will bear all the tuition fees and hostel fees, and a lot of the scholarship grants are also available. In later, I'll send you some of the links for those kind of colleges, sir. That is called the sponsorship program. Mainly in China, there are a lot of sponsorship programs are there. So they sponsor Indian students for the higher studies. And especially for the medical, there are comparing to other countries, the cost of studying medicine in China is really very good, cheaper, pretty cheaper fees in China, sir. Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Did
Thank
I
you, sir.
answer? Yeah, did I answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, please?
So what about the cost of living in China, sir? If a student is going to pursue his higher study in China, what about the cost of living? How much per month he is going to spend in China for to lead a normal life?
Okay, actually comparing to other countries, sir, the cost of living China is really pretty cheaper, very, very cheaper. Because here everything is, as we told, the China is the country which sells the very cheapest articles, the cheapest price. Everything is available for the cheapest price. So the cost of everything is really cheaper. You know, even ordinary people can consume the higher things, just like the costly things here. So if you take vegetables or the rice, if you want to have your 1 month expenses, I think it is less than 1000 RMB is enough comparing to. You know, the exchange rate between India and China is 10 rupees. 10 rupees is equal to 1 RMB. So here 1 RMB, we call this RMB or UN. Chinese RMB, 1 UN is equal to 10 rupees with to our Indian currency. So it is not much expensive. China is really very, very cheaper cost of everything.
Yeah,
Sir,
thank you, sir. Thank you.
sir, good morning, sir. I'm Dr. S.K. Gangai Brahmi of Biotech Department.
Yes, madam.
Your speech, lecture was very good, very impressive, very good, sir. I have a doubt that, like, you told about this creativity.
Yes.
You told about many skills of this 21st century. So something you have to be different, critical thinking, all those things. So which is all needed for our students and for the young budding scientists of future India and to all other countries also. Can you give some tips? Like how we are all stagnant, we all have our creativity in our mind, but we don't apply it in the right time. So can you give me some tips to follow to the students and also to the older peoples?
Okay, definitely, madam. First, thanks for asking this question, madam. Actually, first of all, before I answer this question, I would like to share one of my experience that I faced when I attended interview when I got it 5 years ago. 6 years ago when I got employment in China. Actually, I was called for interview by one of the schools in China, madam. And I was called for the 2 rounds of interviews. The first round was to the personal interview, and the second one is the technical interview. So during the technical interview, they asked me to teach calculus. Since I'm a mathematics teacher, they asked me to teach calculus. So what they expected me, they wanted some creativity from me. So what I did, when I was there in India, in Erode, I was working for a lot of schools and colleges. I was used to teach the mathematics through the board. But what I did was, I created the Java codes for each and every problem. Actually, I thought, for example, I thought Pythagorean theorem. You know, the Pythagoras theorem, we call it as. So in this Pythagoras theorem, I didn't teach by the board. Instead, I wrote the algorithm in the Java code. And then through the Java code, I taught that subject. So that was really a very, very strange thing for Chinese, because no one taught that mathematics through this Java code. So they were impressed about my teaching. Then I was really selected right away. So creativity means when in the work settings and workplace, like a company are very big, if you're TCL or any DHL, a lot of companies are there, multinational companies, they expect creativity from the students. That means they want the students to do the extraordinary things, out of box. We call it as out of box. For example, let me ask you one nice question. Excuse me. Let me share my screen, madam. For example, let me open my board. This is my board I always used to teach my students. Let me put 9 dots, okay? And I want to draw only 4 lines passing through all of these 9 dots without lifting your pen. So this is just a challenging, or maybe it's interesting for all students. I want you to, if I put 9 dots, yes. Okay. I put 9 dots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dots. Can you draw only 4 lines passing through all of these 9 dots? Definitely it's not possible. Let me try and do it. If I want to cover all of these 9 points, the only way I can do is going out of this box. See here, out of this box. I'm sorry, it's my out of this box. See here, I'm going out of this box. See here, I draw this. Actually, this is called box. Okay. So in order to cover all of this point, I have gone out of this box. This is what the expectation from the company. So in order to develop our creativity, we always want to go out of the box. Think outside the box, not in the normal way. What do you think? Something different from other solutions, something extraordinary solution, something special solution that is needed by the company. Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really, the example you gave me was amazing. And I thought of you will be asking me question like you will be putting 9 dots and you have to complete it. I thought I will put a rangoli. Like my thought is around. It's very narrow, not broad. Okay. So when you said when you go out of box, it's really amazing, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the tips. Thank you for the tips, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Student side, any questions, please?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please. Good morning.
Myself, Geeta from PG Biotechnology, Nandha Arts and Science College, sir. Actually, my question is, you have told about technology skills, which comes under literacy skills, right, sir? Okay.
Yes.
But, I'm from a life science background. I doesn't have any computer skills, sir. Much computer skills. So how can I develop my computer skills, sir? Is there any tips for me?
Okay, definitely. That's a good question, student. What's your name you told?
Geeta, sir.
Okay, Geeta. Okay, thanks for asking this question, Geeta. That is the common question, okay, asked from all the students. As I mentioned you in my lecture just before, Some of the students who are studying biology or mathematics or history and geography, they are not aware of these technological skills. Okay, so don't worry if you have not yet learned any technology so far. Okay, now start from today. The learning technology skill is not learning going deeply in depth like a Python or the 2.0 like that. You don't need to like that. Some basic technology. You need to learn some basics like C++, or Java codings. There are coding system also. There is a Scratch coding system is there. Okay, so that Scratch coding system, even children can learn it. You can go to the Google search. There are tons of tutorials in the Google search. You can learn by yourself. You don't need to go to the institution or any computer center to learn this. Okay, everything is available in online right now. If you have internet, if you have the computer in your hand, you can learn everything. So I don't recommend you to go deep or depth and learn the very complicated skills. Okay, the technology means just you need to know how to create an email ID. You need to know how to send and receive the message from email. You need to know about the Twitter, and you need to know how to operate the Facebook. Okay, all of this basic technology. Understand? And also you have to know, you better learn about how to make PPTs, the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, how you should know how to make the PowerPoint presentation. You should know how to edit the videos, how to record the videos, stuff like this. Okay, so the technology means not very professional, like professionals hold that. Okay, so that is the technological skill. If you are aspiring to go to the IT companies or like that, those very critical technology skills are needed. But as you are a biology student, you're medical related, it is enough to learn this kind of basic technological skills. That's what I mean. Okay, Geeta?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank you. You're welcome, Geeta.
fabulous.
Thank you very much. Any other questions from any other students, please?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, very good morning. Please
Sir,
introduce yourself.
Yeah, sir, my name is Sangavi. I am a final year PG student.
Okay.
Sir, my doubt is, I'm from biotechnology background.
Okay.
But I'm interested in bioinformatics like stuff. So is there any specific website through which we can search any specific bioinformatic jobs like that?
Yeah, so just before I displayed some of the websites, this is for example, let me open one of the websites for you. These websites, you can search tons of jobs. Okay, any department. For example, if you go to hirechina.com, let me show you that website. Okay, how it works. Hiredchina.com. Let me show you. Okay, and how to search the jobs. Hiredchina.com. This is the website. Okay, Ma, please look into this. This is the website, hiredchina.com. Okay, so whatever job you need, just you go for search. Okay, job search. You go down there. Just you can type in what's the job you are looking for. For example, you are looking for medical coding. Okay, so just to put medical coding here. And I think this site requires your registration. Okay, so you need to register first before you get into this site, and it will ask whether you need full-time job, part-time job, or online or offline. Okay, if you want to click everything, just to put all and then give search, and it will pop up a lot of related coding. See here, there are coding specialist job in Shanghai, Beijing manager Shanghai. Okay, lot of jobs related to this. So there are 2 jobs available in this, and let me go to the coding specialist in Shanghai. So in the coding specialist in Shanghai, this is the details about the coding specialist. So the job requirement, work hours per week is 40, and this is the email address. You can communicate with them for further information. And these are the job requirements. You have to be ready and you have to be prepared to satisfy all of these requirements. Okay, so this job requires Bachelor of Higher Degree, HIMT or related field. Okay, the related thing. So in foreign countries, they have this kind of degree, but since it is a related field, I think the degree which you are possessing is suitable. Okay, and about 3 years experience in healthcare. Okay, just for example. Okay, and coding reimbursement and experience international domestic medical coding. So you can go through all of these requirements. And then required language, it's not yet specified. And if anything is not specified, it's take it for granted, just like English language. Okay, if you have a very good English skill, I hope you have a very good English skill. That is enough, I think. And then you can go ahead and you can apply for this job by clicking here. See here, apply here. You will apply successfully. See here, and then go on. Then you have to go through step by step. So all the instructions are available in this site, Sangavi. So once you go into this website, you will understand everything. Just follow the direction in this website. Okay, that definitely it will be very, very useful.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You can note it down all of these websites names. Okay, later I'll be sending this PPT or all the links to Dr. Abdul sir. Maybe if you missed to take notes of these websites, you can get it from Dr. Abdul sir. Yes, thank you.
We are recording this for YouTube. So we are
Yes,
going to stream this in YouTube. So the students also you have view this in our institution's YouTube ID.
Definitely, sir. Sure, sir. Any other questions from any side?
The students questions.
Voice is not audible. Hello?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for answering those questions and for the great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us.
I think there is no other questions. I request Vidya ma'am to carry invite the what after.
Yes, sir.
Invite the speaker for what.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yes. So thank you very much, sir, for answering those questions and for the great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So thanking is the
Thank you
best
all.
record that humans share each other. Now I request Mr. S. Karthik, sir, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Biotechnology, to share few words of gratitude. Please, sir.
Good afternoon. It's audible.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
is it audible? Yeah. Yeah, I thank the management. Hello.
Sir, it is audible.
Okay. First of all, I should thank both the chief guests for accepting our invitation, our online webinar, and it was a good one. And I thank the management who had their supports to conduct this type of functions, and it is well supported by our principal, Madam Dr. P. Ramya, and head of the department of ours and other departments, faculty members from other departments, and students who are participating, both our department and other departments, everybody, our alumni, etc. We just thank them for your wholehearted support to conduct this type of program, especially during these type of pandemic situations. Then I just come to the chief guest. We are so grateful to Dr. Jordan Wolf, head Department of English, Chicago Hope University, for his valuable concepts of different things, especially professional developments, batches, values of networking that might be connecting all our peoples, that is from people from China, US and India also, how do you want to go for this updating, especially Python, which is Sir is also mentioning, and Dr. Devakumar are also telling about the importance of Python in near futures, and the confident level and the time for ripening, or he may just put it out in the terms of climbing or patience waiting of things. All these things which will be making the people to be a good win. So in this learning ages especially, it will be so helpful for both our faculty community and also the student community for having a good options. Okay, thank you, sir. And I will also welcome Dr. Jordan Wilson, who will be in India also. I think he told us he will be soon in India, right? Then I just come to our long friend, Dr. Devakumar, sir, who told about the different skills. I think he tentatively told about 12 different skills in terms of learning, literacy skills, and life skills. That was so good for our what the young chaps who learn the importance of all the four C's, IMT and this flips. So we just give it out in a detailed one. We thank you, sir, for giving this wonderful speeches, and it might be a motivational one for many people like us. Right? Thank you, sir, one and all, for having you, and we just expect these type of same rapport with you in near future also. Right? So I thank you one and all the people who had participated, people who had made this program a huge success, right from all the departmental staff members to the students, etc. We thank one and all everybody for conducting or for helping us to conduct this program in a very successful one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, everyone, for attending the webinar. Hope you enjoy and learn this amazing presentation. And now, for your kind information that participants are requested to fill the feedback. So feedback list has been shared in the chat box. So students are requested to fill the form. I repeat, feedback list has been shared and students are requested to fill the form. Thank you.